Welcome back to Key Talk Media. This your host, Key Talk. Check it out, man. All right. Hey, OG Key Talk gang members. Hey, man, last few videos, we have been doing excellent on getting the likes up. Y'all definitely been doing that. Make sure we continue to keep it going so we can show that we are the absolute best at this. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, now with that being said, let's hop into the news because we got some real deal heartbreaking, at least heartbreaking for the street news to talk about today. Right now, we already know most of the gangs be having rats inside of them, but it really breaks the heart of people whenever it turns out to be one of the super gangsters inside the group, one of the super steppers, one of the people that was actually getting called, you know, talking about top of the line street nigga, you know, talking about could have won street nigga of the year award 20 years in a row, 5 years in a row, you know, talking about. It does turn out that one of Lil Baby 4PF members that actually goes by the name of Dirty TAY, paperwork has actually came out. Well, paperwork from someone he told on it actually came out. It goes by the name of Lil Dee. Now, Lil Dee, his lawyers have actually filed the motion to get the snitching, which we're gonna read about it. That his partner. So 4PF Lil Dee is another. You know, he's another 4PF member, right? His lawyer is trying to get some statement suppressed that 4PF Dirty TAY actually said on him, pretty much taken away. So the court won't use that against him, right? So pretty much 4PF Dirty TAY said some stuff about Lil Dee or snitched on Lil Dee, right? And this has broken the hearts of a whole lot of the people inside the streets. Now you know, of course, Lil Baby himself hasn't actually came out to speak about this, even though these are members of his gang or organization or whatever y'all want to call it, right? But what I'm going to do today, we're going to actually read about it. So first, when we read about it, we got to know the actual name of Dirty TAY and the other guy's name. So when we get to the paperwork, you can actually see what they're saying and who did what, right? So let me go and add y'all to the screen. Boom. Now y'all can actually see. Maybe I can get a little bigger for y'all. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna read it for y'all. Now on that screen it's a little smaller, so I'm gonna read it from my phone, but that's the paperwork literally right there that I'm reading. So it pretty much says, first of all, before we actually even get to read it, I'm gonna tell y'all the names of the two people, right? So it says Trouble at 4PF. Whoa, Dirty TAY, whose name is Contavious Wright. So anytime y'all hear Contavious Wright, that's Dirty TAY, right? Gave a statement to police about his friend Lil Dee, the Marion Render, and now Lil Dee lawyer is trying to suppress that evidence, right? So now we're going to actually go ahead and get into reading the documents or the, some paperwork, whatever you want to call it, right? So it starts out and says, defendant moves the court for an order of suppression. Any references to the pretrial identification, so he identified him, right? So Dirty TAY identified Lil Dee. Obviously, had to be of some crime that actually took place, right? So it says the court for an order of suppression any references to the pretrial identification of him by a identified informant Contavious Wright. So that just, if you don't know Contavious Wright, just know it says identified informant Dirty TAY, pretty much, right? It says he further moves that if the court finds that the pretrial identification is subject to suppression, any in-court identification by the same informant not be permitted, right? Defendant shows that according to the indictment and the indictment report, an informant Contavious Wright was at the scene of the shooting August 3rd, 2022, wearing an ankle monitor after Mr. Wright was detained by police officers and police custody. He falsely accused Mr. Render of participating in a shooting prior to the shooting. So Buddy has been an informant and been snitching and been telling, right? Now, I know this breaks the hearts of a whole lot of people, especially a whole lot of people inside the streets. And the reason I say I know that it breaks the heart, because after we finish reading this, I'm going to go to the comment section, and all I see in the comment section is, no, not Dirty TAY. No, come on, TAY, not TAY. So I know it's breaking a whole lot of people's heart, even though personally, I'm not surprised by the end of this, bro. It's from what I done seen the past few years, every single gang, every single black gang, rapper gang, whatever, they got at least one informant in it. Maybe even possibly two. And if it don't have one informant in it, it will have an informant in it when stuff hit the fan. Anytime something hit the fan, it's always going to be some snitches and stuff like that from what I've seen inside of the black gangs. I've only seen like one crew that didn't snitch, and that was like a biker gang. Y'all probably heard about the biker gangs. So people got shot, killed. They just didn't talk or nothing like that, and they pretty much let them off. It was like 50 of them, right? But that was a biker gang. But as far as the rapper gangs, it seemed like everybody be telling and snitching and ratting. I ain't going to cap with you, right? But let's just go ahead and get back and continue reading this, right? So it says, he accused Mr. Render of participating in the shooting prior to the shooting. Mr. Wright was circling Peter Street area in a white Kia with another dark colored car with tinted windows for about an hour. There are surveillance cameras given in the area, and pedestrian passing by Mr. Wright is the only person who implicated Mr. Render as the shooter. So literally, the only person that actually snitched on this shooting that actually happened, they're saying that that only person happened to be Dirty Tay. Nobody else said nothing at all. Everybody else, I guess, was zip lip tied, right? But Dirty Tay was the one that actually snitched on that situation, right? It says there are surveillance cameras. However, Mr. Wright is the only person who implemented Mr. Render as the shooter inside the dark colored vehicle. Mr. Wright did not provide a motive to why the shooting occurred or other members that participated. Police admitted in the interview that they do not believe he is being honest. So the police is saying that they don't believe that Dirty Tay that actually snitched is actually being honest in his snitching. So they probably believe that he actually did it. You know what I'm talking about? That's what it's kind of sounding like and seeming like for right now. It continues and it says, Mr. Render was not arrested at the time. Mr. Render was not arrested until December 3rd, 2022. Police did not place a warrant for Mr. Render arrest for the present. Let's go to the next page, and I'm gonna go to the next page on here as well. Okay, yeah, that's a whole nother post that I actually did on my Instagram at Key Talk Media if y'all don't follow me, right? So it says charges. Moreover, Officer Commerce of the Atlanta Police Department did not present a photo of Mr. Render to Mr. Wright on August 3rd, 2022. Mr. Wright attempted to show Officers Commerce and Officer Deegan a photo of Mr. Render. So Dirty Tay said, all right, y'all ain't gonna give me a photo of Lil Dee. I'm gonna show y'all a photo myself. And he tried to show a photo of Lil Dee. So he went above and beyond as far as snitching goes, right? And it continues and it says, Mr. Wright attempted to show Officer Render a verse via Instagram. So he tried to show a photo on Instagram, but was unsuccessful at his attempt. Mr. Wright attempted to identify the Instagram account of One Solid Lil Dee as belonging to Mr. Render and as being of the person involved in the August 3rd, 2024 shooting incident. Defendant maintains the procedure used by police was so impressive. Let me get it a little closer. Was so impermissibly suggestive as to give it to rise to very substantial likelihood of irreparable misidentification. So they didn't believe him at all, pretty much, right? That's just what they're saying. So right now, Lil Tay is trying to give the 12 of them information on Lil Dee, saying he's the one that did this shooting, but they're not believing him. Even with the picture that they're trying to show him, they just not believing him at all, but he's steady trying to tell them. Pretty much what he's doing is what Wise said Woody said he do. Give them any information, tell them anything they want to know, that you can go home and that you can be free. And y'all might remember that Dirty Tay actually got like 17 years for shooting a kid. So it does seem like a lot of the shooters and the real gangsters and the people that actually slide will definitely be the ones actually snitching rather than telling as well, right? And let's continue. It says, let me get y'all back over to the screen actually before we actually continue with it. Boom. All right. So it says a defendant is afforded the due process right to have identification procedure which is not unnecessarily suggestive or conductive to irreparable mistaken identification. It says the police also made statements to the confidential informant that were unduly suggestive. The police should have utilized a valid constitutional photographic array procedure. There were no exigent circumstances which mandated the procedure used by police. So police is trying to, it's like the police is in Atlanta, just like they was doing with YSL Woody, is trying to like coerce people to get information. They're not actually going by the right standards and procedures that they have to actually go through. Like this pretty much says that, hey, listen, the fact that Dirty Tay had to try to pull out a photo on Instagram to identify Lil Dee is wrong procedure. The investigators should already have a picture, say, hey, this right here. You know, when they pull out the pictures and they lay them like this and they say pointing him out or which one did it, and they point him out and that's how it goes. No, they didn't even do it that way. So this paperwork's pretty much saying that the investigators wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. So Lil Dee might end up, if he does get charged, some off because they're not doing the proper and right procedure inside of Atlanta, right? Let's continue. It says, reliably in the linchpin in determining the admissible of identification testimony, both pre and post. Oh, these are just what I'm reading right now. Those are actually just cases that actually took place. Y'all don't need to know about that. That's just the case that took place is just what the officers, well, the judges used to say, okay, this happened in this case, so we got to do it in this case as well. We ain't gonna read about that. But what we will do is close it out right there, because that's pretty much all the information. But listen, bro, let's just keep it real, fam. Everybody snitching and everybody telling, right? The whole point of this was me to read y'all to let y'all see what the heck is going on with Lil Dee, and also Dirty TAY, that of course a lot of people is heartbroken by this. And speaking of heartbroken, I'm gonna show you how heartbroken people actually are by it, because we're gonna go read some of the comments, right? So the paperwork came out, and pretty much, let's read some of the people. No, not Dirty TAY. No, not TAY. That's brazy. No, TAY. Somebody else said, woo. And then so somebody said that song hard. I was playing Double O Glizzy on his post. It's called Murder and Love. Somebody else said, is he the one Lil Baby was talking about sending him a lawyer because he stays silent? And then of course somebody got like a rat lifting the little mousetrap emoji that always happens whenever somebody rats. And then it says, that's crazy. It be the ones who trying to be tough. See, a lot of people saw Dirty TAY as just like a super tough gangster stepper, just all this, right? And they probably still see him as that. The whole point about it is this. A lot of the people that super gangster steppers still be ready to slide and kill and all type of other wild stuff. Just because they do go and tell and rat and snitch don't mean that they still won't kill you, right? They're the most... Street people say the most dangerous people are rats that will still go and slide, because they slide, they snitch, they get out, then they go slide some more, they snitch, and they get out. So all that type of stuff, right? Ain't even no need to read no more comments. It's just a lot of people saying no, that they're broken, that the streets is a myth, and all type of stuff like this, right? So, with all that being said, if I get more paperwork, more documents, I'll definitely read the rest to y'all. But this is just what's going down inside of these hip hop streets right now. Anyways, let me know something coming down below. Let me know what you think about this entire ordeal. I'm out.